If you've been wandering around in the forest north of Melv, you may have run across this young lady. Her name is Trisha, and she wants to learn magic, but her grandmother refuses to teach her because of, well, reasons.
This again, child. You know full well your father has forbidden it.
But if you want to learn how to cast the two most powerful sorcerer spells in this game, you must complete this quest a very specific way, or else one will be unattainable until your second playthrough. What's up guys, thank you for tuning into Ice TV. My name is Philip Price, and in today's Gaming Guides Done Quick, we're going over how to complete the quest Spellbound and the Sorcerer's Appraisal, as well as where to find all 9 copies of the 5 grimoires needed to complete these quests. If you find this video or any of my videos helpful, please make sure to like and subscribe. Doing so really helps the channel to grow. And if you'd like to make an extra special contribution, use that super thanks button down below. So here's the thing, this quest can get mad complicated, but I'll do my best to explain. The too long didn't read version is that Trisha asks you to bring her 5 specific grimoires, which are spread throughout the world. I'll go over where to get each one in a sec. She'd like all 5, but you really only need to give her 3. If you bring her the books, things happen. But in the end, she thanks you and gives you the Meteoron Spell, and her grandma gives you the Celestial Paean Spell. What complicates things is that her dad, Myrrdin, has his own quest, the Sorcerer's Appraisal. And to complete that quest, it requires these same grimoires. Again, 3 out of 5 is good enough. By the way, he won't talk to you unless you have some fancy clothes on. The Courtly Attire that you use for the Masquerade quest is acceptable.
Very well. You may enter.
Anywho, for now, let's focus on Trisha. Like I mentioned, of the 5 grimoires she lists, you only need to bring her 3 of them. The good news is that depending on how far you progress the Melv storyline, 3 of these books are relatively nearby. You can find a copy of both the Nation's Death Knell and Howling Blizzard on the 2nd floor of the Waterfall Caves just east of the Border Watch outpost. You'll know you're in the right spot when you find a pile of books bathed in blue light. Open this ornate chest to get a copy of the Howling Blizzard and Nation's Death Knell, but be warned, as opening this chest does spawn a fairly tough boss battle. Stay and fight, or run for your life. Either way, you'll have 2 grimoires. The 3rd closest grimoire is the Fulminous Shield, which can be purchased from Dudley, who is located at the entrance to Melv. Keep in mind though, he is a wandering merchant, so if you've progressed the Melv storyline to the point where the residents have moved, you can then find Dudley in Vernworth, wandering around the Checkpoint Rest Town Ox Cart, the Port Crystal, and the Barber Shop. He also travels to Checkpoint Rest Town and wanders from the front entrance up to the Batali Gate. Speaking of Checkpoint Rest Town, the grimoire Let There Be Light can be found on the 2nd floor of Myrrdin's home. Simply walk up this broken wall and then jump to the balcony. Don't let Myrrdin see you up there. Bad things happen if you do.
You would rifle through your host's possessions unbidden? How utterly contemptuous!
But a legit copy of Let There Be Light is right here on his desk. You can obtain the Towering Earth Grimoire by speaking with Magistrate Walter after activating this quest. He doesn't even have to be freed from jail yet, just so long as you have the Spellbound or Sorcerer's Appraisal quest active. You can also get a 2nd copy of Howling Blizzard by using the Thief's Plunder skill on Magistrate Walter. While we're on the topic of plundering, you can get a 2nd copy of Towering Earth by stealing it from the wandering merchant Elsa. She can be found in this general area of Batal. Now, if you go here and find a wandering merchant named Arletta, you may need to get your hands dirty. You see, Elsa is Arletta's twin sister and will only spawn to take her place after Elsa's been dead for 3 days. Whether her death is by your hands or not, well, that's up to you. A 2nd copy of the Nation's Death Knell grimoire can be found in the Ancient Battlegrounds. The easiest way to find this thing is to go here, where you'll meet this guy. He asks you to escort him to a room to ring a bell, and in this room you can find the grimoire. Talk to him while you walk if you want to learn more about the bell. It's pretty interesting, actually. And finally, you can get a third copy of the Howling Blizzard Grimoire by giving a copy of the Fulminous Shield Grimoire to Wendy in the Nameless Village. You can fool her with a dupe as well.
We have a deal then. You've my thanks. Here's Howling Blizzard, the Veiled Tome as promised. Use it well now.
Okay, so if you've decided to collect all the grimoires, you should now have 9 copies in total. 2 Nation's Death Knell, 3 Howling Blizzards, 2 Towering Earths, 1 Let There Be Light, and 1 Fulminous Shield. But either way, if you decide to get all 9 or if you decide to just get 3, just make sure to give Trisha 3 real grimoires after you deal with Myrrdin. Completing the Sorcerer's Appraisal quest rewards you with Myrrdin's Chronicle, which you can use to learn the Maelstrom spell. When you give Trisha the real grimoires, wait a day, then come back to see exactly why Myrrdin didn't want his daughter to learn magic.
We have arrived.
Do not attack Trisha. You can and will kill her if you're not careful. Instead, just keep chasing her around her home until she gets tired, then tackle her. Check back in with her a day later and she'll reward you with a special ring, and the Meteoron Spell. If you didn't heed my advice and decided to complete Trisha's quest first, Myrrdin will acknowledge that you know a spell that he's never seen before.
Meteoron? What manner of magic is that?
He'll then ask you where you learned it from. If you tell him about Trisha, he'll get mad and run you off.
Trisha taught you? That cannot be. Unless she's awoken to her powers? Why is this the first I'm hearing of this? Amy ought to have informed me at once. Wait. You had a hand in this, didn't you? Amy would ne'er have allowed this to come to pass unless some meddler had forced her hand. Begone! I have no words to speak to you. Any agreement twixt us is null and void. I would not share a single incantation with the blackguard who imperiled my daughter's life. Get out of my sight, and do not show yourself before me again!
The only way to complete his quest after this point is to talk with him again while carrying the ring Trisha gave you in your inventory. You don't need to be wearing the ring for this to work. He'll acknowledge how you helped his daughter and give you the Maelstrom spell. And that's it. Guys, I was thinking about breaking this guy down into 2 separate videos, one for Trisha and one for Myrrdin. Depending on how well this guy does, I might still, to be honest. Well, we'll see. Anywho, until next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay tuned to ICE TV.